Once upon a time, I was living in a certain tree. In the hollow, at the foot of the tree, lived a partridge by the name of Kapinjal. In the course of time, we became good friends. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm reading the tales of Panchatantra written by Vishnu Sharma. And today I start reading the story of the hare and the partridge. So let's continue. Every day at sunset, we would return home and tell each other stories about rishis and such things and talk over together what had happened during the day. In this way, we passed our time very contentedly. One day, Kapinjal went off with some other partridges. The another part of the country which was full of ripe rice. When he did not return at nightfall, I became very worried and thought to myself, oh dear, why didn't Kapinchal return home today? Has he been caught in a trap or has somebody killed him? I'm sure he would have returned if he was safe, for he can't live without me. And so I spent several days worrying. One day at nightfall, a hare by the name of Shigrug came and took over the hole in the tree. As I had given up all hope of ever seeing Kapinjal again, I did not object in any way to his occupying the place. Meanwhile, Kapinjal, who had become fat from eating the ripe rice, suddenly remembered his former home and came back. When he found the hare living in his house, he objected very strongly and said to him, here, you have taken my home. That's very unfair of you. Leave immediately. The hare said, oh, but this place is mine now. For they say a well, a pond, a temple, and a tree, once given up by their owner, cannot be reclaimed. Now, this percept enjoyed by the sake for human being is also applicable to birds and animals. So this place is mine and not yours. Kapinjal said, here, if you are quoting the Shastra, then let us approach someone who is well versed in them and will let him decide who is to have the place. Both agreed to this suggestion and set off together to have their dispute decided by Shastri. The crow continued. Out of curiosity, I followed them, thinking to myself, I would very much like to hear the decision in this case. Now, a wild tomcat by the name of Tikshadonstra came to know about their dispute. He went and stood in their path on the bank of the river. In his paw, he held a blade of kusha grass. He closed his eyes, stood on his hind legs, facing the sun, and began giving a discourse on morals. Oh, life is transitory and this world is futile. The company of loved ones is nothing but a dream, and the presence of the family like the trick of a conjurer. They say our bodies are perishable and even our money does not last forever. We face death continually. So we must live according to the Shastra. A man who passes his days irreligiously is like an ironsmith bellows, which breathes yet has no life. Why make a long story of it? I'll tell you what religion is in a nutshell. To do good to others is virtuous, but harming others is a sin. When the hare heard the religious discourse, he said to the partridge, Kapinjal, this fellow sitting on the bank of the river is a tapasvi and an exponent of religion. Let us go and ask his opinion. Kapinjal said, all right, but he is a wild tomcat and our natural enemy, so we should talk to him from a very long way off. And so, standing at a distance, they both said to him, Tapasvi, there is a dispute between us. Give us your opinion in accordance with the Shastra, and whichever of us is in the wrong, you can eat up. The tomcat said, my friend, please don't talk like that. I have given up that violent way of life which leads directly to hell. The Sikhs have declared non violence to be the essence of true religion. It's wrong to kill even leaves, bugs, and mosquitoes, so I shall certainly not kill you. However, I will decide who wins and who loses in this dispute. But I'm old and I can't hear what it's all about from so far away, so come nearer and present your case so that I can decide in such a way that I'm not held blameworthy in the next world. For they say, he who arbitrates unjustly out of pride, avarice, anger, or fear shall surely go to hell. So have confidence in me and speak the fact clearly in my ears. What more is there for me to say? And so this wicked tomcat inspired so much confidence in the partridge and the hare that they came and sat close to him. Immediately he seized one of them in his teeth and the other in his claws, killed them both, and ate them up. The crow continued. And so that's why I said the hare and the partridge were destroyed because they chose a sly and vicious arbitrator. Now, if you choose this blind by day owl to be your king, you are following the path of the hare and the partridge. Realize this and act accordingly. When the birds heard the crow, they said to one another, he's right, we'll meet some other time and select another king. And then they all flew off, except the crow, the owl, and the owl's wife, Krikalika. The owl was still waiting to be crowned king. He turned to his wife and said, what is all this? Why hasn't the ceremony of crown me begun yet? This crow has put an obstacle in the way of your being crowned, his wife said. All the other birds have flown away. Only this crow has stayed behind for some reason, and so we had better to go home. When the owl heard this, he was disappointed and said to the crow, wicked crow, what harm have I done you that you should put obstacles in the way of my being crowned king? From now on, there shall be enmity between you and me, and between your kind and my kind. For they say the wound caused by an arrow or a sword may heal, but not the wound caused by sharp words. With these words, the owl returned to his place with his wife. When they had gone, the crow thought to himself, why ever did I talk like that and pick up a quarrel with the owl? They say a wise man, even if he is very strong, never makes enemies for himself. And no wise man should speak ill of others in an assembly, even if it is the truth, for it may lead to his own downfall. With this thought, the crow too went home. And that, Your Majesty, continued Sthirjivi, the old minister, is the reason why ever since there has been enmity between crows and owl. Then Meghwan, the crow king, said to him, that as this is how things stand, what should we do? Sthirjivi replied, Your Majesty, intrigue is the only thing that will work. I mean, to use this method personally and so destroy the enemy. As they say, through intrigue, three shred crooks robbed a Brahmin of his coat. Meghwan asked, how was that? And Sthirjivi told. But what he told, I'll tell you in my next video. Till then, keep listening beautiful stories and keep smiling.